Kill a man for revenge, there's no going back. A voice in your head sang over and over, "That was awesome."
Who are you?
Drebin. Detective Frank Drebin. Thanks.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cinema Daily US. I'm Matthew Schuchman, and today I'm here to talk to you about The Naked Gun. Is this a reboot, or is this a legacy sequel? Because technically it feels more like a reboot, but they are making the character Frank Drebin Jr., of course, as you probably may have seen in trailers. So I don't even know what it's supposed to be at this point, but I will admit that I was a little worried going into this, because not only generally you're just trying to bring the Naked Gun back, and it's probably not going to do that well in a lot of ways, but also I felt that I avoid trailers, but from the small amount of trailers I did see, or the little clips I saw, it felt like they were taking things too seriously, or the characters where the idea is that they're supposed to play things straight, and that's what makes this funny. And it seems like Liam Neeson in those clips I saw was maybe being a little too unserious, or playing into the comedy aspect of it a little bit. But let's start off with the positives, because I actually enjoyed the movie. They knew what they were doing. Yes, I think there are parts. You know what? I'll save that till later. I'll save that for the parts about that I thought were weak. But they actually did their job in creating a Zucker Abrams Zucker, we'll say Zaz for now, style comedy in the terms of 2000s era or 2010s era even, epic film. I'm not gonna say scary movie, because that did at least a decent job. But but every time I say this, I want to say like scary film, even though that was never one of them. The epic films, the vampire sucks, those attempts at spoofs that never really worked. This again opens up with a scene that didn't make sense to me when I saw the trailer version of it, of this bank robbery, which felt a little unlike a Naked Gun type movie, but the version in the movie has those Zucker Abrams Zucker style jokes. It has the comedy the way it's supposed to be done. It has everything kind of neatly tied up in that Naked Gun feeling, while still being its own film in a lot of ways. Did I laugh out loud uproariously like a lot of other people in my screening did? No. But I still did laugh out loud at times, and I still looked at the screen, and what I believe to be the true sign of great comedy, I can go and point at something and say, that's good. I didn't laugh out loud, but that's good. And there's a lot of that in this film. So they were able to bring back what we were missing for a long time. Not just Naked Gun, but the idea of those Zucker Abrams Zucker style, those Zaz style comedies that has been missing for a long time, and they actually were able to bring it back. Is it as good as those films? I wouldn't say so, but they did a great job of recreating a lot of it. And again, making it their own, but also doing inspired casting. I always thought Liam Neeson was the good idea to kind of do this for a long time, so it's good that they got him. I think Pamela Anderson is in a lot of ways ingenious casting for this, based on the old types of casting they used to do for these movies. Fits in perfectly, and she's kind of on this upswing right now with doing a lot of stuff. That's a perfect time to bring her in. Paul Walter Hauser is always great, but I will get into a little bit of his performance in the weaker part of the films. Don't worry. And Danny Houston, of course, is always a great villain, but he does it in such a different way here than you're used to seeing him at times. So great job on all the casting, really well done. Now the weak points. Even though they do hammer down some of the style very well, and granted, you don't have to do everything exactly the way Zaz used to do it. It's okay to be different. There is something that I feel like there are film franchises like Die Hard. Like, if you make a Die Hard movie and it's not about terrorists who aren't actually terrorists, they're just trying to cover a bank robbery, you're doing it wrong. It's the same thing with The Naked Gun in a lot of ways with the way their jokes are done. To me, it should be joke, move on. Joke, move on. You're not taking one style of a comedy and just going, or one joke, I should say, and doing it over and over and over again throughout the whole film, so that you're seeing the same joke over and over and over again. And I don't mean the style, I mean the actual joke. This version has a lot of running jokes. It has gags that go through the whole movie, which are fine. They're funny, and it's good to do something of your own. But I feel it takes away a little bit from that Zaz style. It takes a little bit away from what I expect from a Naked Gun movie, which is to set it and forget it. It's like once you make that joke, you move on and it never exists again. I think, and going back to Paul Walter Hauser earlier, so people don't worry, it's just I think he was underused. I think that he actually could have been in there a lot more, could have done things a little differently. Not his performance wise, they could have written Ed a little differently than they did this time. And I thought he was underused. Again, not bad, just underused. And there were, again, also the movie did still seem like it was too serious at times, especially in the end section of the movie. I thought that while there were jokes, it was just going a little bit too much on the I'm telling a story, so I need to stick to it kind of feeling, where it could have let go a little bit. It could have been a little freer with itself. Um, there were certain jokes I think they missed. I don't want to give anything away. So I will say that I think they had some good missed opportunities, or like they seemed they were like maybe queuing certain things up, and then they never kind of swung at it, which felt weird. Maybe they did, and just things changed in the cut. There was a strange cameo that makes sense that it's there, but it was so strange the way they did it that I felt maybe something else was missed there, and it could have been due to somebody's health. I don't want to say too much, of course. Um, but ultimately, it's a good time. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how much I didn't hate myself for going to see the Naked Gun reboot and/or Legacy sequel. So with that, my final grade being a B minus. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you next time.